Guys, thanks for being here. Hi, queens. Hi, queens. Queens. Welcome. All the single ladies, all the single ladies. Welcome. Welcome. I'll just wait for a minute, then we'll get started. About the matter of the day. The matter of the day. I'd love to play a song. I had an idea, but now YouTube tends to be very strict when it comes to the music that you play. Most times you need to have a license, and so sometimes you just protect yourself. And can you hear me? Guys, please say hi. Hi. Welcome, ladies. Welcome. Please say hi. This is wonderful. Thank you. Hello, queens. Welcome. You're more than welcome to comment. And so since I want to welcome myself too, because I'm a queen. And so this live was inspired by a question, okay? Questions that I get. And so this will my experiences, so may we not be surprised. Okay, I thought I did this on time, but it seems like it didn't do what I wanted. And so hello, as well as my own experiences. And with this video, any other video I post, I understand that as people, we are different. I'm seeing connection, so I think you're fine. Please leave me a hi there. So, I understand that we are different as people. And so what I say is not exactly what you need to do. So your thoughts are yours. I respect you, and please respect me, because I am sharing based on my experience, what I've seen, as well as basically general. And so that's a long and short of it. And so just for those who don't know me, my name is Imitha Kwababa. And I am a life coach. I feature on radio on Sundays. Madibeng, it's called Madibeng FM, and it's 5:30 every Sunday. And yes, that's what I get to do. So I'm a life coach, and I also feature on radio. And I also have this beautiful channel that is a lot. I just love that. And so now this has been a long-standing item, but what forced it more is the fact that it's Valentine's Day. And so with seeing the balloons and everybody talking about love, the adverts that are out there, I thought what better time to do this than now, because hey, at this time, single ladies just, I'm going to talk about single ladies because I know I can relate more with ladies than I can with men. So I know at this time, someone and I still don't have that person. And so really, what is it that I'm doing wrong? And I don't know if it has anything to do with something that you're doing wrong or right or whatever, but I'm just going to share some of the things that have worked for me. And remember what I said. I said, I will share some of my experiences, respect you. And if you have yours, by all means, it's okay. And so this channel is about from it. So I hope that I inspire conscious minds and those that are not as conscious. But hey, I'm here to inspire everyone to get to the next level of their lives. I've been on my awakening journey for a couple of years now, whenever I encounter. And so, queens, if you don't mind, please do share with me, are you single? And also, I know there's a people who have a couple of questions. Is to share whatever it is that I wanted to share. And then I will attend to any questions that are there once I'm done and with whatever's coming. And so thank you. And I appreciate the like. Thank you. And so here we go. Stop having sleepless nights. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. Stop having sleepless nights because that's what we tend to do. And again, I said, because it's Valentine's, now this thing is more prevalent. It's at your face. And so you start thinking that I'm just not. And so someone asked me a question as to what am I not doing right? And with the conversation we had, it's very difficult because it wasn't a very long conversation. But what I understood is that this person knows exactly, they know what they want, right? Because you most likely are clear about what you want. But now here's one thing that's been fascinating to me, and that is I really would appreciate your comments. Please say hi. I can see there's people, but please just say hi. And so just so that I know you're listening, I know that. And remember to please do share this, the link to this video or to my channel. And so I don't know if anyone does anything wrong per se, because for me, it's, if you say that you know yourself, it's all good. But what I've also learned is that many people say that I know myself. And one of the things that I would ask a question, so you want a relationship, because being single is very broad. But I could not say single people because it's very broad, because this is how I see it. This is how I see it. One can be single because they are not in a relationship. One can be single and that, but they are uncertain as to whether they are supposed to be there or not. And so for me, I think that is who I'm here to offend anyone, but I've learned, share what I've learned or coping tools, to be fine. Because I've stayed in relationships where I knew that this is not on, I really don't belong here, because I wanted to fit in. It happens. And there are different psychological reasons we do those things. And so that's why I would say somebody's in a relationship, but they know they're not supposed to be there. That could mean that, yes, you are single. You are just holding on. I'm waiting for somebody who's going to save me. But now here's the thing as well. If you are waiting for someone to save you, I'm sorry, but you've got to save yourself. And guys, bear with me. Ladies, beautiful ladies, bear with me. You don't have to take my word for it. Do whatever you want. Type of relationship you've been experiencing because you haven't done your healing. It has taken me almost 40 years to realize that I was repeating the same pattern over and over until I got to look within myself and realize that, my goodness, you've been so damaged. And now that you've healed, you now know that you've been having issues. That's why you keep that. Thank you so much. Thank you. And so one of the things that I really want to say then, because I've got 3 things that I want to share. And the first one is that, ladies, know what you want. When I ask people, because as I said, people would come to me and the other person will just say, so the next question is that, are you looking for a relationship? Yes, I'm looking for a relationship. Then if you're looking for a relationship, honestly, nobody's going to answer that for you. So you need to know that if you are looking for a relationship, then you need to define exactly what it is that you want. And when I say that, I'm saying it based on I've been dating. I have been dating, and one of the things I've come to understand with dating is that, hi TK, love you. Hi Mosi, thank you. Hi Kashmalevu. And so one I started opening myself up to dating, and this was after I didn't meet someone along the way or a couple of people. But I think the last relationship I was in was over 2 years ago. And with that relationship, I needed to ask myself, I was holding on to the relationship for long. It must have been one of the longest relationships I held on to. I don't know what spirit was holding me, but I'm actually happy because I learned a lot from that relationship. Why do you keep doing the same thing all the time? So my thing was, I had a tendency of being in a relationship, and most times the people were fairly good to me, but I was the first one to jump ship. And now that I know, this was mainly because I have rejected, was always suspicious about every single person, no okay. Because as I said, after that relationship, I needed to ask myself a question that, but I love this person. I loved this person. Why did I leave this person? You know? So even when I was suspicious, I didn't have any evidence of anything, and the person was mostly available. And so meeting people, this is one of the things that I really encourage. We start questioning, you know, when single people, when people are single, the tendency is, especially when they are looking. Now I'm talking to people who want to be found. When somebody hasn't been in a relationship for a while, they tend to fall easily in relationships, or rather with the next person. And so one of the things that I've learned, and this falls under the question of, what do you want? I took a decision to not sleep with anyone. Book. It's something that I've come to experience in my life, and that is, when one sleeps with someone at an early stage, you tend to make more mistakes, and your judgment is not as good as it would be had you given the relationship time. And so most of the relationships that I was in, I may have done the dance within a short space of time. And a short space of time will be within a month, even 2 days, I would say. But they probably worked out because I got attached, I got tangled. You know what they say about sex? They say that once we sleep with other people, we entangle our spirits. That is why sometimes it's a struggle to leave, even when you. Something that I shared. This is something I shared a while back on my WhatsApp. And I was saying that here, one day I'm going to share my thoughts on a one night stands. Listen, I'm talking to single people here. When you will start playing tricks on you because you don't have anyone. So if you don't have that ex, because there's those unsolvable ex cases, I don't know if anyone knows about them, those, because you can always go back. And most people would say, I don't want to go, I would rather go back. Understandable. It's very understandable. But now here's what I want to do. Because when one opts to go for a one night stand, it means that's the space that they are in at that current moment. And so if that's what serves them, it's okay, because once you say one night stand, you're most likely saying that I will not run away from the fact that I am a busy woman, but there are just one of those times where you actually miss having someone. But the decision that I have taken is that, listen, you are better off without, because you do not want to entangle yourself You don't want to make bad decisions. So get to know people. So once you know what you want, so the first thing, as I said, I've got 3 things for you. First thing, I want you to ask yourself whether you are now in that relationship that you are unhappy about because you feel that you don't belong, whether you are single but you start dating. What you want will have to be placed out there. And so as I go out I get to know more of the things that I want. And once you get to that level, you also have this thing that you understand what you can compromise on and what you cannot compromise on. Because we have those things that we know are deal breakers. So, what is your deal breaker? Because that will determine a lot on who you're supposed to be with. So, as you start dating, now here's a beauty again. You delay everything so you don't entangle yourself. And you start dating, you make it clear that this is what I want. People start to eliminate what person was making me feel good because we had long calls. It happens. You have long, they make you see all the sunshine, the roses, the everything. But the same way you are going to have to serve in one way because that person is also looking for someone who you want an emotionally evolved type of person. You must understand that you must also be emotionally evolved. And that's why I think one of the last things that I'm going to say, and I will invest in yourself, because for you to get the type of self, because you meet someone at the going to say, but it's impossible. How is it that I could be with somebody who actually abuses me, who cheats on me, who is, it doesn't matter what it is, but whatever you see is negative. You are there, much like me, in a situation, someone, and you ask yourself, but why would this person hit me despite the fact that, I mean, I would never do that. I'm too kind. I do everything that they want. That is not the point. It means sometimes it could mean that you care too much. You sometimes neglect who you are and end up put up with nonsense. And now, whatever the other person does, thinks it's okay because you are taking it. So, know what you want in order to eliminate. At some point, I resonated with this person. We were connecting on so many levels. But the challenge that I had was that this person was just not available. And that most people don't like, particularly most married people. So, and exactly what I had, but I then realized that I needed to pull back. And that is why I'm saying that as we go on, as we know what we want, you need to wait to it so that I don't find myself caught up in a situation where I'm now sitting and hoping that this person will come back at any time and hoping, because I know myself. If you've read the book called The 5 Love Languages, I know my language. As much as there's 5 of them, obviously there's a top one. And I know I love quality time. I love it when somebody makes time for me. And so it's one of the things that I'm able to pick up on, that will this person be able to make time for me? And if you're able to see that, you're able to say tata, and yeah. And so being single is not really complicated, but yes, I cannot run. I don't know anyone who doesn't love affection whether that person is not in a relationship currently, but I think that everyone loves the feeling of being loved. And now with this whole topic again, I've come across people who would say that, oh, no, 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 I'm single, I'm comfortable, I'm happy being single. Because, hey, I don't want to be in that type of relationship that person was controlling. I don't want to be controlled where I felt that I was controlled. And also, it would depend what is happening. We all differ. When I felt that I was controlled, it's because I was in a relationship where the other person or other people were actually financially not providing for me, not at all, but they had financial muscle. And, you know, is it because you've got, and so for me, it's important to look at where does that come from. And so the reason why I don't want a relationship is that because of what has happened. Do I then need to just deal with a certain issue of feeling that I was being controlled? What role did I also play? Because we tend to forget that part. And listen, ladies, I'm talking to people that are looking because I want to get married. I'm clear. It's not a secret. I'm clear. I want to, and maybe that. And so those who want to get married and those who don't, for now, I advise you that work on yourself. Sometimes it happens that remember I said that you may feel that you are belittled because you feel that I've got less in this relationship. And really, that may not necessarily be the case. Sometimes you've overworked, you've overthought things. It's actually innocent. Somebody else it could just be that they don't have time, they don't have the creativity, they trust you better to do whatever it is that they're asking you. And so in that particular case, just think about it. And so what do you want? Now we're done with that. Clear your thinking or clear your life. And here I want you, and all these things will always be interlinked. I want you to ask yourself, because you come closer into attracting what you want. Hey guys, we are attracting. I really hope that everyone knows here will get what they want. Like, I'm thinking that honestly, I hope that you get what you want and you understand that you can get it. Everything that doesn't serve you. Sometimes it happens that we are addicted to drama. Addictions are different. And so, if why have I been drawing this type of thing? Again, going back to as you work on yourself, you get to heal, you get to understand in a relationship, or you are tendering. Listen, I want to be supply chain. I don't want to give out tenders. As we were talking about this, and I'm asking people, where do you get sex? Now, I'm asking these things because I'm single. And so that's not the intention. But for me, it's just that I've taken a decision of not entangling myself because I've been in situations where, that's why I'm saying that clear your history. If you're addicted, if you've been addicted, much like I attracted the situations that I've been in, I've been in relationships where I knew that someone was with someone, and therefore I'm the third wheel, clearly not wanting to be in that situation. I don't like this because this person is not always available for me. That's why I'm saying that no, I don't want to be giving tenders, like, or taking tenders, whatever it is. How about I have this thing and know that, hey, it's part of me, it's mine. I don't own anyone, by the way. I don't know if anyone does, but I think if you've got a partner, I no longer want to be that person who is spare will. And for me, also with the doesn't make one decide to have a relationship with you. If a person doesn't want you, I think that you can stand on your head and be as creative as you want. If they don't want you for a stable relationship, they will certainly appreciate, will still go for that person that they want. And that's why sometimes we would wonder with, but this person, I've been with this person for so long, and a day after or 2 months after our breakup, this person gets married. It's because, going back to number one, that person knows exactly what they want. You are that whole. And trust me, and the sooner you understand that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you, the better. Because you are able to move forward. You're not going to want to exert extra effort in a relationship because you are attempting on making it work. You understand fully well that it's not about me. The right person for me is there. And drama, if you have a tendency of being around drama, if you have a tendency of, and yes, I've already spoken about sex, yes. And so that question comes up most of the time. It is your choice. Mine was that I don't want to entangle myself. I don't want to find myself in a situation where I cannot think properly because I feel that I've invested myself, because that part of things really affects your judgment. And so over time, we ask ourselves, but no, how did I get into this situation? Well, I got into it because I started by moving on too fast. And so, can I just wait and they want? Because some people take what's there and not say you are not it and string you along until you are strong. And then after that, Jinji, you are left hanging, clearing our minds and really defining even more, what is it that I want? What do I want for real? So that we don't repeat the same. You know what I like about being single? For me, I've found it to be quite an interesting thing. I'm able to really define who I am. I've been able to know that I won't take this as a person. This is for me, this is not for me. And I've also up lady, level up woman, just level up, work on you, and that way you will just attract with time, not the easiest thing, but with time you will get what you want. And so getting to the last thing that I want to talk about is, but what do I do in the meantime? That is the question that we usually have. Now, I saw an interesting post from a friend, and it says that, okay, let me quickly look at it because I found it very interesting in that I know this is where the issues are, and I had a way of replying well internally. So it says, you're reporting live. Okay, so the people usually the lowest, the loneliest. And does anyone understand what I'm saying? Please just type the yes or why if you understand that statement. In saying the people who usually say I know my worth are usually the people who are the loneliest. So, someone, can you please tell me yes or no? Like, do you understand that concept? Because they know their worth, then. Now, here's my take about those people who know their worth. Those people, easiest thing to do, but it's because they understand what their worth is. And when you understand your worth, much like, as an example, if you're an engineer and you know that I need to be earning 50,000 Rand per month, once you understand, know that with my experience, with my expertise, with my this and that, that is not me. Therefore, I'm not going to take it. Because they understand that once that 25,000 is missed, the difference of 20,000 is missing or whatever, there will be a challenge that they will be experiencing. And therefore, certain needs will not be met because they know their worth. One of the things that I say, relationships, about one way or the other, a certain relationship will come up and and this person says, well, I think you might just have a problem because you'll be comparing your current relationship with what you've had. And my response was, I don't have to do that. No one will find anyone who's perfect because you and I are also not perfect. But accept certain things that we don't like. Sometimes they end up being insecurities in relationship. And so you plunge in, you take a plunge, you get into that relationship, it goes. And then with certain things, certain things start to now be an issue. And that, because you know that I could have done with more money, I could have done with, so as in the example of work situation, because you now went into situations that you knew that are not for me. And therefore, sometimes we need people who know their worth because they are saying that this is my value, and therefore I will not settle for less. This is what will work for me. And anyone who respects those people will understand and accept them, because everyone has their own person. Not everyone will have issues with their expectations. And so, in order for us to succeed in anything, we need to start with ourselves. Who am I? What do I stand for? Many a times I've mentioned the issue where I'm saying that I used to hate if anyone were to ask me that, like, no self-love, but I've learned that I didn't. And one of the examples, this is how I know, is that I struggled to look at myself on the mirror. And I was having a conversation with a coach just yesterday. And as I was conversing about that, I actually said, I don't even think I have childhood pictures. I don't think I do have childhood pictures. If I have, it's most likely less than 3, because I always saw the need of care. And now, the thing is, if you don't feel good enough, trust me, all those times I had been attracting whatever negative. Now I'm talking about negative because not everyone was negative, but all those times I was attracting negative situations in my life was a reflection of what was happening internally. And so if I did not love myself, there was no way I would be able to discern. One thing I pride myself in, and that is I've always been streetwise. And so some of the situations, of course, I've been saved from is because I was streetwise and had I known my worth, there's a couple of relationships that I would not have gotten myself involved in. But in the same breath, what I'm saying is that you and I need to use all those relationships to move on, because those relationships have allowed us to now know what works for us, what doesn't work. And I think we should now know what we love and what we don't. What am I looking for in a relationship? And so as a sin comes with starting to this is what I want and I will not settle for less. I am actually tired of just being this person who's on the side and who's just not getting what they want, what they deserve, and I would rather wait. And so with that, I think for the people who say that, no, I want a relationship. Yes, you want a relationship, but what do you want in a relationship? What do you want in that person you are looking for? Because if you don't know what you want, you will take the first thing. You get this variety of people and you can choose that this will work for me, this will not work for me. And the second thing that you need to do is clear your thinking. Once you clear your thinking, you are able to identify. I continue to, if there are anything, if something new comes up, then I continue to check it out. But hey, single lady, it's not a job really, but hey, we there, and Valentine's is coming and we cannot pretend that we don't want people, don't we? And you are powerful enough to manifest the type of person you want. If you don't know how to manifest or whatever, there's a video that I made of how the principles I use for what I want, and they get me getting the things that I want. But now they come with then being in a relationship that I'm not supposed to be in. So firstly, though, I'll just summarize. I actually even say that no, I'm looking for, like, I want to have somebody who is a Hollywood star. It's not far-fetched. It is not far-fetched. I want somebody who's a Hollywood star. Trust me, if you believe that, you will get it. Learn your patterns. What will most likely be contributing to the situation that I'm currently in? Because in every relationship, just one-sided. So you need to ask yourself, what role did I play? Because once you understand and that information starts to accumulate, you start understanding the actions and the things that I talk about mostly. And I would say is that change never comes until you are willing to change. And so the reason why you keep attracting the same type of person over and over and over, asking yourself, what role am I playing? Because that person is not alone. I'm empowering this behavior, or I'm empowering this thing. I think that's the correct word. And so I'm actually making it happen because I'm accepting it. If you don't accept something, it does not persist. And so change from everything. I would not be in a different relationship, or I will not be in a different relationship. I will continue doing the same thing that I've been doing, which has not been working, since I haven't found somebody to be stable with. The way I don't want to get married. I don't want a stable relationship. That person knows exactly what they want. And it's not going to be easy to change them. They've actually just told you. And so what will then happen is that for the next 5 years, you are in a relationship where you feel that I am in love with this person, but they're not doing anything. And what I've learned is that somebody who gives you the honest truth is actually better, but it's unfortunately so hard to get married in the long term. That person has made it clear to you that is is it really worth it for you to sit in that relationship if you know for sure that is your question? With that, I'm about to leave you, and once more, thank you. And also, if you've got any question, please, because hey, we single but actually what is the other one was what am I doing wrong? And the other one is what do I was it what do I do? It's so bad. I feel so disorganized, but I didn't write it down. But oh, okay. So this person says, I feel that my expectations are too high because nobody is coming to the party. And so, what do I do? And I think for me, that is because if anyone says to me that, but I know to you, including the values, are not there. Because remember, at no point are we going to get someone who is 100%. It doesn't happen because I can take certain things. Well, with this question though, the person is saying that, yeah, I want this and I'm not, the people are not coming to the party. Yeah. And so you don't want to settle. Do not settle because you don't want to be frustrated. So rather stick there, stick around until you get what you want. Because remember, as I said, you can get what you want. When I talk about the things that people want, I always find it easier to manifest it, whether it was a job, whether it was just money that came out of the blue, whether it was, sometimes you look for something and for whatever reason, this thing seems to come. Or you go past a billboard and then boom, there's an advert. Now that is manifestation because you used your mind for exactly what it is. You were so positive, and that is the same way you will attract someone. So until you start being a magnet and telling yourself that I can get what you want, it's okay. It's okay. Don't feel bad about your expectations. I think my network is not bad. Is actually playing up. I keep seeing a pop-up message, but in any event, I hope you guys see me well. But I think that do not compromise if you feel that these are the most important things. The other question that I've had a couple of months ago was somebody asking that, okay, if I'm looking for a relationship, what do I really look for? And so for me, one of the what interests you more. And so for me, a relationship, a lot about a relationship with the person that you are looking for. What am I trying to say? English. But you can tell a lot about a person based on the relationship they have with their, as an example, mother, father, siblings, whatever. There's a lot you can tell about a person from how they treat other people. There's a lot you can tell about a person about how they talk about other people. And once you put some of these things together, you are able to tell a lot because usually when someone is still in love, because it's so exciting, everything is just all over the place, it's hanky-dory, people are able to hide certain things. And even without hiding, some things are there. You can see them through the conversations that you are having. But sometimes red flags are there, but now I'm smitten by this person for whatever reason. We want to hide those away and pretend that they don't exist. And over time, those things start to show up. And when things are not working well between you two, with your partner, when things are not working well, listen to what a person is saying because you are the beneficiary, or is it a beneficiary or whatever, but you will get something. about close people that this person should most likely be protecting and loving, and because you are a germ, you also need to be protected. If that person doesn't protect those people, what about you? What about when things are not working well? So be on the lookout for red flags, but those are some of the things that I look at. Um, and yes, and I just thought about this other question, but I don't know. And if you have a question, you can ask it. I know someone asked earlier that can they ask a question? I've been waiting, it hasn't come. Let me see if it may be on. No, it hasn't come. So if you've got a question, perhaps I may be able to answer time to just love on yourself. It's okay that that partner is not there yet, but love on yourself, fall in love with yourself, learn all these many ways of appreciating yourself, because what you start doing now is what you're going to get when that person comes. That person will start seeing your actions. Someone asked a question, and this is that they were saying that I've been dating people who don't really care, and I give so much of myself. I give so much of myself in relationships, and I never ever get what I. Again, going back to checking your history, what have I been doing in this? What have I been experiencing from outside, but also what role have I played? And so, more than you are getting, because our programming, or rather what we've learned when we were younger, determines a lot about how we currently act. So what I've been acting out in my relationships is exactly how I grew up. More into relationships because it's wanting validation. I'm giving myself more, I'm giving the other person more, and I feel that this person is not appreciating it. And that's what usually happens. I feel that this person is not appreciated sometimes, but it's because you are just giving so much. What are you looking for? Is it because you are lacking worth, and therefore giving so much of yourself will make you feel validated and feel good enough to be accepted by that person? If you were there when I was starting this video, somewhere I will not expect too much from us. The right person will not expect too much from. Say to me, but Imitha, you always apologizing and you're just too nice. And I got to look apologetic when I feel that I've done something wrong. And I asked that question to that person. And really, does it make me a bad person? No. Does it make that person a person? Not at all. But clearly, I'm just not for them. And it's okay. Because some people, sometimes you will start noting that a relationship is not good for you, or you are not wanted through the things that are said and through the things that are done. And yes, sometimes we will be lonely if we let go of that person. But then, which one is better for you? Because we're all different. Which one is better? Because you must fit in, or would you rather wait for that person who will accept you just as you are, and that when you apologize anything wrong, it's okay? But somebody who's going to constantly make you feel that you are not sexy enough, whoa, that's a big one. I usually say to people that if you have insecurities because you are always trying to put so much work into being liked and made to feel good, because if someone constantly says to you, but no, your size, you've got this is too big, and that is, really, that person is not wrong because you're looking for a size 8 and you are not that, you know. And so there are certain things that you can work on in relationships, of course. There's nothing wrong with partners communicating about things that they like and that they don't like. That's how it is. That's how we learn. We learn through other people. We get to learn who we are. We get to hear who we are through other people. But there are certain things that change who I am. I won't be able to change my body shape. I won't be able to change my complexion. I won't be able to change my size. I won't be able to change certain things. And therefore, if this person cannot accept me for that, then I'm sorry. Surely there is somebody who wants me just as I am. And so let me just respect myself. Yes, I think I've said more than enough. I don't know if this will continue. I will see with time. But really, single ladies, really queens, as I said, I love sharing experiences. And also based on what people ask, somewhere out there, someone will learn from this. And remember, as I said, disclaimer, you don't have to take what I'm saying. I respect your opinion and I respect learned over time with my own experiences. And this is what I'm willing to share so that we are all becoming this evolved kind of nation, kind of people, kind of women who know their worth and sometimes fight through that loneliness that really exists, because sometimes there are times you become less lonely when you get acquainted with who you are. When you get acquainted with who you when you meet someone and you feel lonely as a single person, you will be lonely even when you are with that person. Because you will be constantly looking for this person to fulfill a certain void, which in that particular loneliness, it could be that you will be looking for somebody who's going to be with you 24/7. When that person is not with you 24/7, you will be miserable. Doesn't respond to your SMSs. When that person does this, when that person is with their family, friends, you will have issues because you haven't gotten. When I say that you need to be full within yourself, it is not by accident. It is because you can never make the next person love you more than you on your own are able to love yourself. So you need to start loving yourself. You need to have through the things that you love, doing the things that you love, getting to know yourself, developing yourself, personal development, which is what I do as a life coach, which is what I'm doing currently. Develop yourself so that when somebody comes to you, you actually come and merge but at a very good point, because you're already who you are. When that person is absent, you will be able to survive. You will be confident that that person loves you. It doesn't mean you won't have to work through certain things, but you will have this built up confidence in your relationship, in yourself, enough for you to be less insecure because you know who you are. You are you. You need to fill yourself up. Right now, you are most likely single and looking, and or not yet looking because you've got your issues. But whoever you are, it doesn't matter which state you are. Everything that I've shared is something that can be used by anyone. To be happy just because they are there. You will still feel lonely even in their presence because you have not befriended yourself. And the longest relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. So if you don't build that, really attracting all these things that you obviously don't want. And so, yes, with that said, thank you for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. Vimash, Wusi, Malebu, AV, thank you so much for being here. And everybody who didn't pop by, who didn't comment, I really, really appreciate you. Everyone who watches later, lives on different topics, depending again on what people are saying. But I truly enjoyed being here and I honestly love you and I hope to see you soon. See you. Goodbye and thank you. I will